As the board president is not in attendance at the meeting, as the vice president, I will be assuming the duties of the president at this meeting. The regular notice requirement of the New Jersey Open Public Meetings Act has been complied with, and that adequate advance notice of this meeting was given at least 48 hours in advance. On January 9th, 2024, notice was mailed to the Courier Post, Philadelphia Inquirer, and posted on the district's website. At this time, can we stand for the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
At this time, I would like to turn it over to our board secretary for roll call.
Good evening. Jeanette Alvarez, here. Naimea Gillespie. Cameron Hudson.
Present.
Danielle Jackson.
Present.
Karen Merricks.
Present.
Wasim Mohammed. Nanamde Nelson.
Present. At this time, I would like to turn it over to our superintendent.
Thank you so much, VP Nelson. At this time, I would like to introduce you to the Yorkshire Elementary School Choir. Unfortunately, our music teacher, Mr. Carsley, will not be able to make it this evening. However, we have our director of our Black History Month program and our 4th and 5th grade students. So Yorkshire students can begin coming forward to the stage. They will help us as we celebrate Black History Month. That's it. Let's give it up for the Yorkshire Family School as they come up. And they are going to lead us this evening. Once they get in place, we will all stand and sing Lift Every Voice and Sing. They will lead us in the singing of Lift Every Voice and Sing. And as they come up, the choir consists of the following students: Kamani Davis Victor, who's a 3rd grader; Victor Teneo, 3rd grade; China Williams, 3rd grade; Yoscar Santiago Fernandez, 3rd grade; Daryl Perry, 3rd grade; Rodrigo Erdos Juarez, 3rd grade; Isilani Lopez, 3rd grade; Demir Davis, 3rd grade; Jade Simmons, 4th grade; Esteban Fontanez, 4th grade; and Dayani Edmonds, 5th grade. Let us stand and join them, and we are so proud of our young people.
Test. Can you stand with us? So everybody stand.
Lift every voice and sing, till earth and heaven ring, ring with the harmony.
Excellent, excellent. We can do better than that. Let's give our young people in the Camden City School District from Yorkshire Family School another round of applause. I turn it back into your hands.
At this time, I'd like to turn it over to our board secretary.
Okay, the board will now go into closed session to discuss matters of the following nature: individual privacy, student HIV results, pending, ongoing, or anticipated litigation, contract negotiation, or attorney-client privilege, pending contract negotiations, and pending litigation. Can I have a motion to enter into closed session?
Motion to go into closed.
Second? Second. Okay. All in favor? Aye. Okay. How long? Oh. We'll be in for approximately 30 minutes. Okay. Can I have a motion to come out of closed session?
Motion to come out of closed.
Second? Second? Okay. All in favor? Okay. Closed session time, 6:22. We have reports by the student board reps.
Thank you so much to our Assistant Business Administrator and Board Secretary for this evening. We are excited, as always, to hear from our young people because in a district that strives to put students first, if we don't hear the voices of our young people, how can we know that that is exactly what they're experiencing from all of our efforts? So we're going to turn it over to our amazing board reps, and we can start with Brim. Damien, if you don't mind kicking us off. Thank you.
My name is Damien Irizarry. I'm a junior at Brim Medical Arts High School. The pros at our school, we received a new principal, Ms. Chukwueke. She is an amazing principal. She started to learn everybody's name. She always goes to the classes. She'd be right in my class at 9 o'clock in the morning. So she goes to every class. She engaged with the students. Our certified, our CTE pathways, they're doing great as well. The only problem or issue I would say is our paid internships for the summer. The main person that was like the head of everything was Miss Luke, and with her transfer, it's kind of hard of us getting the paid internships. Administration is like working on it and trying to get all the details, but of course if she was here, it would be like much easier, especially since I'm in one of those internships as well. Also, another issue would have to be the AP English collaboration with the Bard College Sequence program. That is a huge issue, and I feel as though that the Bard College Sequence program should be separated from AP English and their curriculum. And I believe if y'all send out a poll to each student enrolled in that class and see if they're willing or they wanted to take the Bard College, majority of them would say no. I did the calculations myself. For AP English, we only been in that class for 12 hours and 30 minutes across from September to now. For the Bard Sequence class, we have been in that class for 66 hours, and we have not learned anything from rhetorical situation and everything that's on the AP curriculum. Their syllabus and everything that Bard does is completely different and totally away from AP English itself. So I don't know why it was even approved for them to come into the AP English class and even teach us, because when we take the AP test in May, most likely everyone is going to test 0, 1, and 2. So that will be a main issue, and hopefully it gets resolved, because I don't want to do AP English. I don't want to do AP Literature and Composition with Bard College again, and I don't think any other student wants to do it as well. And this is not just for BRIM, this is BRIM, Creative, Camden High, and BPLA as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Damien. Sinai.
Hello, hi. I'm not personally in the class, and I don't know if this is actually anything like you guys can fix, but I know that some people in my chemistry class are having this problem with their teacher. She teaches over BRIM, and so basically she's telling them that they have to go to BRIM lunch now instead of Camden High's lunch because it's an interrupted period or something like that. So basically, they no longer can attend Camden High lunch without skipping her lunch, without skipping her class, okay? So it's like this, her class, they go to BRIM lunch, even though they're Camden High students, and then during our supposed to be lunch period, they're in BRIM. Now, some of them don't really like that because there's not been an official statement like handed out that like, oh, you guys now are supposed to attend BRIM lunch if you have her class. They've just been saying like, you guys have to go here. So I know a lot of them actually haven't been going to her class after the second half because they don't want to go, they don't want to skip their lunch basically. Which I mean, I understand because it still is technically their lunch. Like I wouldn't want to go in the lunch period with people I don't know personally. But yeah, other than that, like, I don't think there's any problems that I know of. I mean, I'm probably not up to date. Yeah. Okay, bye.
Thank you. Thank you, Sinai, and thank you so much, Damien, both of you for sharing. Each month you come out and share. I know Sinai typically shares in our student roundtable groups, but thank you for sharing today on behalf of Camden High School, and Damien for consistently sharing. Based on what you have shared with us today, I'll start with Damien. First of all, thank you for acknowledging the positive things that are happening at BRIM. As you always do, we're glad that there's a great transition with the new principal, as well as your highlight of the CTE pathways going well. Took copious notes on your concerns about Bard College and the integration with the AP English collaboration. At the end of the day, what we want to do as a district is to make sure that as students, you are experiencing classes that are going to help to prepare you for college and beyond. We know that there are some glitches for sure that need to be worked out. We have been in collaboration, myself, our Assistant Superintendent for Instruction and Programming, Ms. Christy Weitzel, and her team, along with Ms. Danielle Dickinson, have been working with the BARD instructor as well as the BRIM AP instructor, trying to bring about resolution. And you are correct, there are some things that we are still working on and working through. What we are also looking forward to doing is being able to support our students in preparing for the AP testing so that as we are working these things through, it won't negatively impact, we are hoping that it won't negatively impact your performance on the test. So please stay tuned. We will continue to update you. I'm sure Mr. Kwekwe, as your principal, as well as the lead educators at BRIM, will also continue to work collectively with our central office team as we work this out. But I thank you for specifically detailing the concerns as they impact you, as well as the students that you are representing. So we are definitely working through that. I want to also thank you, Sinai, for sharing the concern with regard to the chemistry situation with the sharing of chemistry, the chemistry teacher or students having to go to another school to get chemistry. We know that we're experiencing a national teacher shortage. We talked about about that even in our smaller group discussions and student roundtable. And so some of the things that we're trying to do as a district are to make sure that as much as possible, if teachers have extra spaces in their schedules, that they are able to be utilized to teach students so that we don't have to be so reliant on subs. Sometimes that works well, sometimes there are glitches like the one that you pointed out. So we will take that back and see what we can do so that students aren't choosing between, oh, should I go to lunch now? Should I go to chemistry? Should I, try to stay with my peers? Thank you again for detailing that. I'll turn it over to our acting board president to see if there are any questions from the board for our reps. You did a fantastic job. Thank you.
Thank you, Superintendent. Before I say anything, any board members have any feedback? So I would like to say thank you to our board reps for expressing yourself, being honest, and sharing. Just like the superintendent and her staff, make sure that they take things back and figure out solutions. I want you to know we as a board does the same. So the board meeting before last, there was some concerns mentioned in reference to Camden High and the possibility of students or somebody smoking in the hallway. We, just so you know, board representation was in the school yesterday and did a tour with the administration. And, I'm happy to say that, we didn't see any signs or smell any signs of that while we were in the building. The school, Camden High representation, did an excellent job. Students were engaged. It seemed like there was a lot of teamwork taking place and a lot of things taking place just to improve the environment. So again, if you're not sharing with us, then we don't know. But if you do share with us, we may not always be the ones that go into school, but at least we're able to follow up with the superintendent and her staff. So we just want to make sure that you know that your voices are heard, and we appreciate it. So thank you. That's it, Superintendent. How you doing? I apologize.
You're fine.
I apologize.
First, I want to say thank you guys both for showing up, as usual. Damien, thank you. You come, you speak passionately every month. I'm always excited to hear you speak because I know you're going to come with something. I love a good challenge, and I love somebody that's going to make me think, so I thank you for bringing us stuff to work through every meeting. Put us to use. You guys are doing an excellent job at that. As far as your paid internships in summer and different things like that, I'm trying to figure out how to word this. So there is an issue with information, sounds like it's being like gate kept from you guys, so like it's a gatekeeper situation. Whereas if it's information that's for the public or it's information for your benefit, you should have it regardless whether a person is in the building or not. So maybe try reaching out outside of here and saying, hey, listen, I understand that you're not here. However, this is what we need. And if that is not anything that's going to get you solutions, I'm going to tell you for the third board meeting in a row, call me. Please call me because we can work out some things. Whether you're, listen, I run an internship program outside of here, so I have internships available. It's multiple organizations across the city that are willing to work with you and willing to get you exactly what it is that you need. So please don't think one person being absent from your life is going to change everything that you have coming to you, which is a great thing. You know what I mean? So we want to be resourceful. We want to be proactive, and we also want to ask other people. We can't gatekeep the information. If that one person who you relied on as a heavy and strong resource is no longer willing to be a resource for you, we have to find you one that is. It's that simple. Okay? Also, Ms. Sinai, thank you for coming out. Also, introduce yourself when you get the microphone. Let us know who you are, what school you come from, things like that. And also speak with confidence. You were chosen to be up here for a reason, so you have exactly what it takes to represent your school and the student population because they depend on you to do so. So you did excellent, but speak a little bit more confidently, okay? All right, that's all I have for you guys tonight. Thank you.
Thank you, Board Member Jackson. Turn it over to you, Superintendent.
Thank you very much. And I did want to add another piece on the heels of what Board Member Jackson shared. Our team member informed me that with regard to the internships, they will be taken care of before the summer. So we are working on making sure that information is already in the process of being transferred so that we can ensure our students get what you deserve and what you work for. So thank you so much. At this time, I'll turn it to the Board Secretary for committee reports.
Okay, there are no committee reports this month, so I'll turn the meeting back over to you, Superintendent.
Thank you so much. At this time, I would request everyone to transition down to the front so that we can share in our superintendent's report, and we have some very special people here today that we definitely want to acknowledge. Thank you for your presence. It makes a difference. All right, good evening again, everyone. I want to take this opportunity again to formally welcome you all to our February regular advisory board meeting. This month, as you can see depicted on the screen, we celebrate Black History Month. As I said, depicted on the slide are just a few pioneers in history who have paved the way in many key areas. We celebrate the brilliance, we celebrate the perseverance, and we celebrate the resilience of countless individuals, some of whom are depicted on this slide, like W.E.B. Du Bois, Nelson Mandela, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., Dr. Maya Angelou, Malcolm X, Rosa Parks, and Barack Obama. There are so many others who have paved the way. And so it is our job to instill in our young people our today and our future, the rich contributions of the past so that they can continue to carry the torch forward. And so we are just so excited throughout this month. Our students were engaged in many different activities to learn about and celebrate Black history, and we look forward to highlighting some of those areas in the rest of the board report. So we can move to the next slide. And as you can see on our agenda, there are just a few focus topics that we will focus on this evening, ranging from rewards and recognitions, which most of you are here for today, all the way up to updates regarding teaching and learning and division of talent and labor relations, and then we'll end off with district highlights. So without further ado, let's move to the reward and recognition section of today, and let's get ready to congratulate BRIM students. That's it. Let's give them a round of applause. And I'm going to read a little bit about this specific accomplishment, and then I'm going to ask those individuals who are here in the audience to come forward from BRIM. So Camden County College's engineering department, in commemoration of their Engineers Week in 2000, began what is now the annual engineering design competition. This annual competition is hosted by engineering organizations such as the International Society of Automation. This year's 24th annual engineering design competition was hosted by Lockheed Martin of Morristown, New Jersey. And so the goal of the competition is to develop the type of scientific team building skills that are necessary to be successful in the field of science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, or STEM. Teams of 4 or less students are required to design, build, and test a project within a specified amount of time in order to accomplish the objective provided at the beginning of the competition. Adults are not allowed to assist the students. Only members from the hosting organization or Camden County College staff are available to answer general questions. This year's 2024 annual engineering design competition required the 7 teams using simple office supplies and an instruction sheet to build a ramp approximately 1 meter in height in such a way as to allow a marble to travel its length and reach a specific endpoint. They were given a time limit of 40 minutes to construct their device. There were modifications allowed during the time allotted to improve individual designs. Once students completed their projects, each team was asked to bring their device to the stage in the front of the auditorium and place it in a prepared location on the stage. Engineers using stopwatches, our young people were interacting with engineers using stopwatches, had a member of each team place their marble at the start point of their construct. They were then signaled to release the marble and allow it to travel the length of their device to a stop point. Their times were recorded. All teams were required to submit a sheet that inventoried the supplies that were not used in the construction of their device. The marble travel time for each team was compounded with the scores from their remaining materials, and our BRIM team came in third place. Despite being the only freshman representatives, the sole freshman representatives, our Camden City School District BRIM students showcased outstanding talent, dedication, earning them the well-deserved third place trophy. So now, let's give a round of applause in advance to the following students, and I'm going to ask them to come forward if they are present with us tonight. Camille Thomas. Not here, okay. Annabelle Pena. Excellent. Ariana Matthews. Drincy Vasquez. You can come forward, and if your instructor is here with you or any other BRIM staff members who supported this effort, please come forward as well. All right, and we want to make sure that if we can have our board vice president and anyone else whom he delegates to come forward. Thank you, Dr. Williams, for your leadership. Thank you, Principal Chukwe, just the entire team at BRIM for all that you do. Please feel free to come forward. We are so proud of our young people. We are proud. You can come up too, because we want to get this picture with everyone. This is a team effort, all right?
Wonderful job.
Very nice. We have it. This is probably upstairs.
Oh, the trophy is upstairs. We'll post it on social media for you so you can see. All right. Is this okay or not? Awesome. We'll be back and we're taking number 1 next year.
No, that's right.
That's right.
Thank you so much. Good job.
Are there any parents of our intelligent, brilliant students who are present? If you are, please stand and be recognized. Thank you, parents. Can't do it without you. There's no way we could do this without you. Thank you for your partnership. And we are so excited because just like we take home trophies for state championships and athletic accomplishments, our students in Camden City School District also take home trophies for academic excellence. Academics is just as important as athletics. So thank you for proving that for us today, Brim School students. The rest of my report will be brief. I just want to now ask if there are any representatives from Creative Arts High School. Any Creative Arts High School representatives, please come forward. And Shakir. Creative Arts is winning the trophy this month for the highest attendance average in the Camden City School District. The highest attendance rate for the month of January out of all of the schools in the district, and I think it's absolutely amazing. Let's give our Creative Arts family a round of applause as they receive the trophy to be housed at Creative Arts this month. Okay. Let's find this way so that our board members, when they come up, yes, another trophy. Yes, indeed. Awesome. Give them a And again, we want to give a shout out to the principal of Creative Arts High School, Dr. Davida Cope-Rockington, for her leadership and for establishing a culture of excellence even when it comes to attendance. And so at this time, I would like to ask a representative from Wholesome Riches if they would come forward. And at this time, we want to thank all of the students who participated in community service for the second marking period. So thank you to our partner, Ms. Michelle Pila, who's coming up. And we are so grateful for this opportunity. Yes, indeed. It is truly important for our young people to know that they can give and give and give. And so thank you for partnering with us to make sure that that happens. However you want to. Okay.
Hello, good evening. We're honored to be here. My name is Michelle Pilla from Wholesome Riches, and we are here today to thank all of the students and your families for serving. You can see all of the names in the schools up there. They work in the rain, the snow, the harsh weather conditions, and they're serving the residents of the city. But not only the students, teachers and family coordinators, everybody comes together to make sure that the needs are met. So we are so thankful for the team collaboration. We cannot do it unless we work together. And we are overjoyed by the attitudes of the students, the character that they show, the dependability of the schools, and so many people are blessed by the efforts of these students. So if we can bring them up. If you have participated, this is only for the second marking period, if you participated in community service at your school, if you're so hard. Do you want them on top or on? Let's stay on the ground because there's so many of you. That's it. We're going to stay down here in the front.
Yeah, right across the front.
No. So your names are up there. There's too many to name. You know who you are, right? But your names are up there. Your pictures are up there. Wow, there's so many. This is a good problem to have. Look how many students. half up here, half up here.
Oh, okay. If you can just come as close as you possibly can.
Oh, you want to see your name up there? I promise it's up there. But we're going to get a picture real quick. Looking for your name. It better be there. Can everybody come close for the picture? Marquez is trying to get your attention. Wow. And these probably aren't even a half of this. I mean, there's over 200 per marking period. I'm going to start doing some leadership development stuff too. Okay. And kind of take them to the next level, whoever wants to. Can you give them a hand? Give them a hand. And I would say also, if you are their parent, can you stand? Because you should be proud of these students as well. Thank you, parents, for supporting them. Thank you so much. Thank you, Superintendent. They actually pack and load the cars and give out the food to the community.
Okay.
Next time I'm going to have a little blurb that I read.
No, that's cool. That's awesome. This is great. Again, we want to thank you, Michelle, and your organization, Wholesome Riches, for all that you do. I'm sure on behalf of our board, we are just very grateful that our young people in the Camden City School District have the chance to learn the importance of giving back, the importance of serving others, and again, we look forward to the growth of this wonderful partnership. Thank you. Thank you so much. All right, so at this time, we're going to transition into the next few slides. And again, as we shared, one of our focus topics is to make sure that you are aware of who our new board members will be. So again, at the February 13th special board meeting, the advisory board selected 2 new board members to fill the current vacancies on the board, 2 current vacancies on the board. And we are pleased to welcome Ms. Wanda Garcia and Ms. Maria Perez as our 2 new board members. They will be sworn in after the completion of their criminal history background check, which we anticipate will be at the March board meeting. Next slide. So in this next section, there are just 2 slides that are very, very critical for us to share, and it has to do with our finances, the district's finances. And so the district received its audit results for fiscal year 23. And we are pleased to report that the total number of audit findings has reduced again this year, with only 3 total audit findings. 4 findings were cleared from fiscal year 22. There was 1 repeat audit finding and 2 new audit findings for this year. That is excellent news. And if you go to the next slide, you'll see where we have been as a district. I know you're exiting. I want to just ask you to exit quietly if you're transitioning out of the auditorium, for the benefit of those individuals who are staying. Thank you. Again, this represents an historical overview of our audit findings going back to fiscal year 2012, which is the beginning of state intervention in our district, to where we currently are in fiscal year 23. And so as you can see from the chart, that's excellent news. Yes, it is. It is definitely something that should be applauded for the hard work that's been done and the teamwork. As you can see from this chart, our total audit findings have decreased again from a high of 27 findings in fiscal year 17 to a low of 3 findings findings this year. And now we look forward to decreasing even further down to zero and sustaining this steady financial outlook. Next slide. So when we think about the district's finances and operations, we also know that we want to ensure that every single student in our school district has the opportunity to be educated in facilities that value them, as well as the staff members who serve them. And so, as many of you are aware, we have been approved for construction of a brand new Eastside High School. Although we are still in the beginning stages of the construction planning process, we want to provide a brief update about where we are in the process. So on this next slide, you'll see 3 phases: Phase 1, Phase 2, and Phase 3. We are currently in Phase 2 of the construction planning process, which focuses on the design of the building. So the SDA has named, and that is the Schools Development Authority, has named DIG Architects as the contracted architect for the project. That is the same firm that designed Camden High campus, where we currently are. The new Eastside High School working group meets every 3 weeks, and the purpose of that working group is to ensure that we are moving forward with the very initial planning stages before we begin to engage the community. The following subcommittees are in the process of compiling the space and room questionnaires for the design of the new building. The Instruction and Programming Committee, Student Supports, Facilities and Operations, Athletic Programming, Stakeholder Engagement, and Communications. As a part of the design process, we will engage with students, staff, and the community at several points throughout the process. Subcommittees will be reaching out to staff, students, and external stakeholders over the next couple of months to address what are their design elements that they would like to see in the new building. Then, again, once we have preliminary drawings for the building, the district, along with the Schools Development Authority, will hold several community meetings to elicit input from the community on the design. This is going to be a beautiful, wonderful state-of-the-art building, and we know that all voices will be needed in order to make sure that this building is ready for the next 100 years. So again, we will keep you updated as we continue to move forward. This next slide is also very important because it outlines just a few of the key highlights of the new Eastside High School, which we just wanted to refresh everyone's memories on. So the proposed square footage will be a little over 203,000 square feet, being built for 928 total occupants, with a total number of staff members for 178, grades 9 through 12, and again, we are looking at the total number of students in all grades, projecting that number to be 750. And as you see on the slide in front of you, I won't read each of the areas, but there are program highlights that are currently in place that will be carried over into the new building, like our automotive lab space, STEM lab, culinary arts, graphic arts, science lab, cosmetology, and JROTC. And then on the next side, the other side of the slide, you see new programs and new classrooms identified for the new building. Media center spaces, video production and digital media, computer technology lab, performing arts lab, EMT and health sciences, marine biology, advanced manufacturing labs, medical arts, nursing, and we are still moving forward to request an additional 28,000 square feet of space to house even more programs. So again, we are building this school for the future, and we look forward to collectively inviting all voices, including student voices, as we move the project forward, and we will continue to update and engage the community. The next slide goes into some highlights from our teaching and learning division. So we want to shout out our teachers in grades 3 through 8. During this month's district-led PLC, or professional learning community, teachers in grades 3 through 8 came together to experience the New Jersey Student Learning Assessment through the lens of a student. So the NJSLA as if they were a student. Teachers had time to take one unit of the NJSLA assessment and reflect on the experience with their students at the forefront of these reflections. Then they collaborated with their grade levels and content colleagues to strategize next steps for their students and instructional practices. Next slide is also very important. It's a special announcement that's very critical. All Camden City School District students in grades 11 and 12 we are having the SAT through college boards administered March 5th through 7th, which is a Tuesday through Thursday of next week. Attendance is mandatory. It is critical for our young people. We want to make sure that they can take the SAT right in school. They don't have to worry about paying for it, so that's not a barrier between them and college applications if that is the route they choose to go. So again, we want to make sure that our young people have what they need, and parents, we need, board meeting is posted, and you take a look at this meeting, even if you're not here tonight, we want to make sure that you know we need your young people to be in school on those days, fresh, ready, with breakfast, so they can do their best. Letters will be going home in both English and Spanish to families, and as well as posted on all of our social media outlets. Next, as we continue to talk about testing, it's important to remind our students that the New Jersey GEPA test administration will occur March 11th through March 15th. And the makeup dates will be March 18th through March 22nd. This is just that time of year. Every year we have a testing season, and this is a time when we can show what our young people have learned. And so we want to make sure they are ready, they are alert, they are fresh, and they are here to show what they have learned. And so again, we will send out information reminding our families about the importance of the New Jersey GEPA. And just a few things I want to say about the GEPA that are very important. Students who are currently in grade 11, that's the class of 2025, must take the New Jersey Grade Proficiency Assessment during the spring of the 2024 administration to satisfy the state graduation assessment requirement. That's why it's so critical that everyone is in place during those weeks that I just cited. Students currently in grade 12 who have not yet taken one or both components of the GEPA, New Jersey GEPA, and who are expected to graduate in the class of 2024 by August 31st, 2024, must take the necessary components of the New Jersey GEPA during the spring 2024 administration. Only students who meet the eligibility criteria for the dynamic learning maps may be identified as exempt from taking GEPA. And finally, attendance is mandatory for all students in grades 11 and seniors who need to meet their graduation requirements. We want to make sure, again, there's no barrier when it comes to ensuring that our students can graduate on time. So these assessments are critical, and again, this information will be shared out broadly with our families and the community. Next slide. So we shift a little bit from testing and we look at something else that's very important. That's the social emotional learning. The mental health of our young people is critically important. So we know that social emotional learning changes lives. Students show that social emotional learning delivers long-term improvements in skills, behavior, and academic performance while reducing anxiety, depression, and substance abuse. SEL competencies are also critically important for long-term success in today's economy. On March 8th, 2024, we will showcase and support SEL, that's social emotional learning, in our schools, organizations, and communities. Across the nation and in our district, we will also celebrate and advocate all week long for National SEL Week, which will be held March 4th through March 8th. So again, continue to look for those activities. Next slide. And let's stay right here when it comes comes to making sure our young people are supported not only academically, but also social-emotionally. The Division of Student Supports is coordinating workshops with New Jersey CAP and SERVE to educate schools on child abuse prevention. New Jersey CAP aims to protect children from abuse by offering workshops tailored for students, parents, and staff. SERVE focuses on raising awareness about domestic violence and trafficking, providing presentations and workshops. Both programs customize their services to each audience, covering essential topics such as consent, healthy relationships, and intervention strategies. The New Jersey CAP will serve the Martha F. Wilson Early Childhood Development Center, Morgan Village Middle School, Thomas Dudley Family School, H.B. Wilson, Davis, and Cream School, commencing in March. SERVE will extend its services to the remaining schools not listed as covered under CAP for this year, beginning in March. The grades to be served include K through 6 and Teen CAP 7th through 12th grade, and we will continue to provide multiple opportunities for our young people as we prepare them to be safe, healthy, and strong. Next slide. Parents, again, we cannot do this work alone in a silo. We need our parents, and we are grateful for the parents that we have in the Camden City School District. So this month, our District Parent Advisory Council received updates about our upcoming election and parent leadership training sessions. And on the next slide, you'll see a schedule of some areas that have already been checked off, and the next item is March 15th, which will be Election Day. So that will be the day that parents are able to select who they want to represent them as a parent leader. Please make sure your voices are heard. Please make sure that you cast your vote to ensure that we as a school community are working together to achieve, to ensure our students achieve academic excellence. And again, you'll see some of the other dates listed. March 26th, meet the DPAC leadership, and then week of July 8th, DPAC Leaders Summer Leadership Institute. So we're looking forward to providing those training opportunities, but we want to have our leadership in place for our parent council. Next slide, just a few DTLR updates. That's our Division of Talent and Labor Relations, and then we'll round out with some highlights. So we currently have a 7% teacher vacancy rate. Our highest number of vacancies remain in the following subject areas: special education, science, math, music, health, and physical education. DTLR remains committed to recruiting as many teachers as possible. However, hiring for this school year is winding down, but we've already begun extending job offers for school year 24-25. The team has completed the spring recruitment calendar to begin focusing our efforts on recruitment for this school year and the upcoming school year. Thus far, the team has been invited to attend career fairs at the College of New Jersey, Rider University, Ramapo College, New Jersey School Jobs, which is a virtual fair, Temple University, Stockton University, and many others. So we want you to save the date. March 19th, the Division of Talent and Labor Relations will be hosting a district-wide hiring event from 4 to 6 p.m. right here at Camden High School. For more information about this event, you can see our website, and we will share future updates. We continue to advertise our roles on Indeed, New Jersey School Jobs, K-12 Job Spot, LinkedIn, Handshake, New Jersey School Boards Association, and more to fill current and future vacancies. Last year's hiring fair was a huge success, and so we want to make sure that our community knows that there are jobs that are available, and you can come, and in some instances, interviews occurred right on the spot. So again, please save that date, March 19th. So we are also excited to announce a partnership that Rowan University and the Department of Education have. We're going to save that update. We'll save that for the next session, but a special recruitment strategy. I want to make sure that those individuals who are involved are present. So please forgive me. We're going to hold on that final update and move on to our next slide, which focuses in on our Camden Connecting program, which I think was the last slide. Yes, thank you so much. And so our DTLR team is continuing to strengthen our retention. So it's not only important for us to hire great talent, but we have to be able to retain and keep great talent. And the only way we can do that is to make sure that our staff feel heard, they feel valued, and they know that they are appreciated. So we are excited to report that through our Camden Connecting initiative, school leaders have been provided a platform to plan at least 2 employee events to both increase engagement and show appreciation for our employees. Some of the initiatives included schools hosting breakfast and lunches for staff, as seen on this slide. We received very positive feedback from our schools who have given direct feedback, and specifically an employee at Eastside High School stated, "Today's employee engagement was a success. Thank you for this thoughtful gesture, as Tiger Nation staff were thrilled to be a part of this event. There are many ways to say thank you. However, we appreciate the Camden City School District for acknowledging and appreciating us. Many thanks to DTLR." We also received feedback from Cream School stating, "Having the support of the district to not only show our appreciation to our staff, but improve the climate was much needed for our school community. We will definitely be entering our second date for teacher appreciation in May." So HR has partnered with school leaders at each school location and providing assistance with identifying best practices and how to arrive and thrive and how to arrive at thriving employee-centered activities and securing events, and we are looking forward to providing more updates as these activities continue to occur. And finally, our district highlights portion, which is one of my favorites. So this is, these pictures that you see here, I can't see the slide. Okay, yes, we're in the same slide, are from our district Real Mentoring Launch, our Read Aloud Mentoring Launch, which happened last week. And as you can see from the images here, our young people were engaged in reading, and this was our first phase. We're looking for 200 mentors, and we have arrived at 100 reading mentors, and we're continuing to expand that group. So it's not too late to sign up to be a reading mentor. And all you do is you get trained on how to read to our young people, how to engage them, and then you spend some time just reading with them with an old-fashioned book. Nothing digital, just a nice book for them to read. And as you can see from their faces, they had a wonderful time. Please go to our Facebook page so you can see many, many more of the images of our young people. We want to embed in them a love for literacy. Next slide, the district's highlight on Fired Up for Literacy. On Thursday, H.B. Wilson's, a couple Thursdays ago, H.B. Wilson Family School's very own Liliana won the Fired Up for Literacy Reading Challenge. In celebration of her remarkable accomplishment, the Camden City Fire Department chauffeured her to school on a fire truck. So that was absolutely incredible and amazing to see. And on the next slide, on Wednesday, February 7th, we celebrated National Signing Day by having a district-wide college HBCU D9 Dress Down Day. As we continue to celebrate Black History Month, this initiative provided our community with an opportunity to come together and celebrate the importance of education, the diversity of our community, and the legacy of historically Black colleges and universities, and the Divine Nine organizations. Next slide. The Camden City School District's second Pharmacy Tech cohort. We are proud to announce that recently our second cohort of Camden City School District Pharmacy Tech students geared up for orientation. We are extremely excited to see what the future holds for our rising Pharmacy Tech students. And on the next slide, on February 1st, Once again, at the Brim Medical Arts High School, alongside Creative Arts Academy, Camden High, and the University of Pennsylvania, they all hosted our second annual Night in China celebration, offering attendees an immersive experience of authentic Chinese culture. We are one of a few districts in the state of New Jersey that offers Chinese as a foreign language. From awesome dance performances to engaging trivia games and delicious Chinese cuisine, the event was a huge success with a blend of education and entertainment. This initiative was created by the only Mandarin language speaking class in Camden. We are looking forward to expanding our Mandarin course to our younger grades. And next slide, as I mentioned before, we want everyone to save the date, March 19th, for our hiring fair. We will be hosting an in-person hiring job fair from 4 to 6 at the Camden High campus. Please tell a friend. Light refreshments will be served, and this is going to be a higher energy event celebrating the district and attracting new talent. So again, we are hiring for all different types of positions, not just teachers in the classroom, but also our security team, our custodial staff. We want everyone to know that there are jobs available here in the Camden City School District. And with that, I want to thank you for your attention. We're going to transition back to the stage to continue with the rest of our meeting, where our vice president or his designee will acknowledge our retirees. Before we move on to the rest of our presentation, I was just made aware that one of our slides somehow didn't come up. It may have been hidden accidentally, but we want to make sure we take this opportunity. Her students have already shared this, but we want to acknowledge that Ms. Chukwekwe is now the leader at Brim Medical Arts, and she came out tonight, and so we want to make sure she's acknowledged. Mr. Chukwekwe, if you are still here, would you please stand? There you are. Excellent. Thank you so much for the awesome job you're doing. You hit the ground running along with your leadership team. And we know that you didn't start off at the beginning of the year, which is also a challenge. But as we can see, because of your work ethic and your love for our young people, the same love you showed at HB Wilson, our young people feel it, and they know that you put them first. So again, thank you for starting off so strong. Thank you, Mr. Kwekwe.
Good evening, everyone. I would like to congratulate the following retirees: Maureen McGinnis Graves for 35 years of service, Teresa Urban for 31 years and 7 months of service, Rosa Reyes for 29 years and 5 months of service, Patricia Pinozino, 33 years and 4 months of service, Faith Gibson for 34 years and 3 months of service, Kevin Rosario for 29 years and 6 months of service. Thank you for your dedication to our students in the Camden City School District.
Thank you so much. At this time, I'll turn the meeting over to our general counsel to guide us through the public comment portion.
Thank you, Superintendent. The Camden City School District welcomes the attendance and comments from all members excuse me, of the public at its meetings. This public comment period is your time to present your comments to the board and the superintendent. Each person who signed up to comment will have 3 minutes, will have 3 minutes. You'll be notified when your 3 minutes are up, and you cannot yield your time to another person. When it is your turn to speak, please come to the podium and address all of your comments to the superintendent or general counsel. Please be courteous to your fellow community members and keep your comments within the time frame allotted so that everyone has the opportunity to speak. At the end of the 3 minutes, the microphone will be cut off and we will end your comment time. We also request that you please conduct yourself in a respectful manner. The First Amendment is not absolute, and the board can prohibit language that is inappropriate or vulgar. For anyone whose comments or actions harass, intimidate, or threaten the safety of any person, we will provide you with a warning or immediately end your comment time. We will not interrupt you during your 3 minutes of comment unless we deem it necessary. If a member of the public speaks negatively about a staff member, interruption may be necessary to caution the speaker of the dangers of slander. After the public comment period is closed, the superintendent or her designee may address your questions to the extent provided by law. I will begin by calling the names of individuals wishing to provide in-person comments before reading the written submissions. As a quick reminder, all written public comments read aloud during the board meeting are the views of the person submitting public comment and are not the views of the superintendent, the advisory board, or the Camden City School District. Thank you. And the first person we have signed up to speak is Cherie Gold. Sheree Gold? Sheree, okay, thank you. Yeah, Sheree's done.
Hello. Hi, good evening, everyone. I actually have a couple of questions for you guys. First question is, incident happened at one of your schools. Police station called. They tried to get a videotape of the incident that happened. The incident was erased. Why is that if there's an ongoing investigation with, why is that if there's an ongoing investigation with this incident? Second thing is safety in our schools. My daughter was just in an altercation back in October with a boy. I don't know if the Board of Education knows about it, but this boy literally put my daughter in the hospital. Camden High really didn't do anything about it. My daughter still has not had grief counseling about this, nothing. So a security guard literally sat there and watched my daughter get beat up by this boy and did nothing at all. I have pictures of my daughter's face. The Camden High School, all they did was transfer him to another school. He tried to do the same thing to another student at the other school. The boy wind up getting jumped at this other school. Why should my daughter be scared to come to your school? Why should my daughter be scared if a student bumps her, she's going to get put into the hospital at your school? My daughter literally lost 30 pounds when this happened. My daughter is still depressed. My daughter still does not eat. My daughter did not want to come back to this school. It was teachers, staff members that literally talked to my daughter, wanted my daughter to come back to this school because my daughter, number one, is a straight A student. I'm not a straight A student, she's a honor roll. She does not cause any problems. People was threatening my daughter, talking about my daughter was bullying this boy, my daughter is this, my daughter is that. If you look at my daughter's record from the time she started school up until now, my daughter has never been in any trouble. So what are you guys doing about this problem is what I would like to know. If you would like to see pictures, like I said, I do have pictures of the incident that this boy did harm to my daughter.
Thank you, Ms. Gould. Ms. Gould, if you have any pictures, if you can share them, I'm going to ask Mr. Gregg to meet you outside and you can share any information you have with him. Thank you. The next individual signed up for public comment is Kevin Waters.
Good evening, everyone. Hope everyone's having a wonderful evening. First, before I even get started, I know you don't stop my time yet. I want to thank Brother Namdi. He was able to help me with a situation at the school in terms of the D9 event, Meet the Greeks, and I appreciate your support, brother. So why am I here tonight? Lunch at Eastside. Some of it's good. Don't get me wrong. Some of it's good. But what I got from students is this. Lunch comes out for certain portions on a regular basis. More food, no. Food options, food options. I tried to write this real fast when they were talking. Students get told they can't get food because it's for the next lunch period. That's unconscionable. Why would that be a statement? Food insecurity is an issue for some of our students. Saving food is a poor management condition, and it needs to be, for real. When you have a food insecurity issue already, and you're told that you gotta wait for the next lunch that you can't come to, that's abuse, period. So I think I heard one of you all say that you can meet challenges. Here's a challenge I want you to meet. We got 5 months left in the school year, pretty much. Food should be in abundance at Eastside High School. In abundance. No student should have to worry about, I can't get French fries. Oh, but really, they should never be told that you can't get this right now. Student came up to me crying. Let that marinate. Because she couldn't get food. Come on. The next 5 months, we should never have a student say to me that they can't get a meal. And the staff is telling them, you gotta wait until next lunch. Sorry, you can't eat right now. Now, I'm paraphrasing that part because that's what I got from the student, and I'm only answering these questions random. What can you help me with at the board meeting tonight? Food was the first thing they came up with. I didn't ask them to tell me that. That just came out. So, I don't know what you think is going on, but what you think is going on is not going on. Food is an issue in our district. And what you need to do...
Thank you, Mr. Waters.
What you need to do, I understand what you're saying.
No, that's the end of your comment time. If you would like to send in any additional information, please send it in writing. Thank you. Thank you for your comment. The next individual signed up for public comment is Diego Maya.
Good evening. We broadcast Board of Education meetings in Spanish. Today I stand here before you with a profound sense of gratitude for a monumental step forward in Camden's educational community. The City of Camden Public Schools are the pioneers in providing simultaneous interpretation into Spanish of the monthly advisory board meetings and the superintendent's report. This initiative not only demonstrates a commitment to linguistic inclusivity, but also reflects the district's dedication to preparing its students for a globally connected world. I extend my heartfelt thanks to the advisory board and the superintendent, Katrina McCombs, for recognizing the importance of providing vital information in the Spanish language. By offering simultaneous interpretation in Spanish, you are breaking down barriers and ensuring that all members of the community have equal access to the discussions, decisions, and developments that shape Camden's educational landscape. The significance of this initiative cannot be overstated. The Spanish is not only the second most spoken language in the world, right after Chinese Mandarin, but it also opens doors to endless opportunities both professionally and personally. Research shows that individuals who are bilingual, particularly in English and Spanish, tend to earn significantly more over their lifetimes. By equipping students and their families with the ability to engage in Spanish, the district is not only promoting academic success, but empowering families to thrive in a diverse and interconnected world. Furthermore, by providing the superintendent's monthly report in Spanish, along with the advisory board meetings, a powerful message of inclusivity and respect for the linguistic and cultural diversity within the community is being sent. Latinos are 54% of the student population. Every parent, regardless of their primary language, deserves the opportunity to stay informed and engaged in their child's educational journey. To the advisory board and Superintendent McCombs, I express my deepest gratitude for your visionary leadership and unwavering dedication to advancing equity and inclusivity in Camden schools. Your commitment to ensuring that every voice is heard and every language is respected sets a shining example for the New Jersey educational community. As we continue on this journey towards a more inclusive and equitable future, let us remember the transformative power of language and the profound impact it has on the lives of the students. Thank you.
Thank you. The next individual signed up for public comment is Salo Roman.
Good evening, everybody. I've been working for the school board for over 20 years, so this is the first time I had to do this. I got into an incident with our director, Warren Pathea. The incident occurred while we were working at the facilities, and when I attempted to tell him that our immediate director, Mr. Wayne Goldman, had told us to do it this way, he automatically said, well, you're gonna do it my way, I'm the boss, so do it my way. Now, during this time, he was very hostile in what he was saying. So we had another guy there named Vince Taylor. He's a sub, a very good...
Mr. Roman, I'm just going to interrupt you for 1 second, just if you're talking about other staff members negatively, just to warn you of the dangers of slander, but you can continue.
I'm not slandering him. So we had another employee there, a sub. He decided he didn't want to come back to work because of the incident that happened. Now, his managerial skills is terrible. We hired the wrong person as director of buildings and ground. We really did. He bullies us a whole lot in all his statements and what he does. I've been already 2 or 3 times to his revenge when he doesn't get what he wants or when you do something he doesn't like. He always has to come back at you in his own way. Now, I would love to tell you more because this is way deep in what it goes, but tomorrow we will be filing a complaint against Mr. Pathea. Because of this, the morale in the warehouse, custodial staff is terrible. Nobody wants to be in the warehouse. Nobody wants to come to work because they feel every time they come, they have to deal with that. I've sat there and witnessed with his managers, especially the morning time managers, how he talks to them and treats them. Nobody should be treated any type of way. We're all men, we're all women that work for the facilities. We are your employees. We work for the district. We work for you, Ms. McCombs. But we shouldn't have to deal with that. That's not what I come to work for. That's not what I put in 80 hours a week for. And I do it for the kids. But I'm not willing to sit there and keep dealing with an attitude and have to be talked to any type of way because he's not getting his way and he's not doing what he's supposed to do. So, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Roman. The next individual signed up for public comment is Gary Frazier.
Good evening, Superintendent, board members, student body representatives. I come to you by way, I don't know where else I need to go at. My son is in, he's in the charter school right here by Lewis Hospital at Common. And I went to the school in regards to the safety issues that's happening at that school. Now, I know our charter school receive a good portion of our student body funding. So for security and issues like that to be an issue, I'm about to have to put on my active hat, and I don't want to do it. Every single Friday, that school is chaotic. Cars coming into the building, students crossing over the streets. Somebody's going to get hurt at that school. I've tried to go to the school and talk to the school to tell them what was going on. Normally I go to Jeff, that's the head of all charters, that's who I know I'm supposed to call. But I know who to call, but none of these other parents know who to call. All I'm saying is there needs to be some sort of accountability, because if it's happening at that school, I'm sure it's happening at other schools. We do not have what we should have there in terms. I know my son was in public school, we had crossing guards. Crossing guards were there protecting our children. We had educators who were qualified to teach our kids. Now, my child has excelled in the school, do not get me wrong. But in terms of the safety there at the school, I'm not happy with it. I'm so not happy with it that I'm pulling my child out of there. For them to have that many children in that school, and you have one guy, whenever he shows up, that's there at the corner right there, letting students off to the left, to the right, and you have all this traffic coming up and down Coatwood Avenue. Somebody's kid's gonna get killed. I done told them 1,000 times. I don't know what else to do. I don't know who else to go to. I'm not gonna be the person that keep calling Mr. Jeff, but I do wanna say something else. Thank you for bringing those programs back to the district that I saw when I was growing up, that our children are gonna be able to participate in. Thank you guys for continuing the work that you are doing with Eastside High School and going forward with the changing of the name and let the students in them doing what they're doing, yo. I really appreciate all the work that's being done in the district. I've been out of the loop for a while, just staying in my lane, going to church and praising God, but I do thank y'all for the work that's being done, continuously being done. But please, 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 we have got to do something before somebody's child gets hurt. Thank y'all.
The next person signed up for public comment is Theo Spencer.
Thank you. Afternoon. A couple of things. One, when I heard the superintendent talking about the audit report, one of the things that was a little bit foggy to me, you were talking about the audit findings, and it seemed like you were implying that since the board was taken over, that we've gotten less audit findings and audit findings have gone down. In terms of an audit, you really can't tell how good it is by just the number of findings. You have to know what the rating is. So if we got an unqualified audit, that's the best rating that you can get. That's really what would be pertinent to know, not the number of findings. When I was on the school board, one of the last years that I was on the board, we got unqualified audits when the district was run by the community. So you can't really make the claim, or we can't make it seem like, well, when the community ran the district, somehow we were irresponsible, and now that the state's taken over, somehow it's more responsible. The findings and the rating of the audit, you know, that's what you need to know, the rating of the audit. But what I really wanted to talk about was, a couple weeks ago I came to a special meeting for the naming of the advisory board members. And one of the things that I had to say, I was really disappointed in the level of questioning of the board members, of the folks that were going to be added to the advisory board. I think asking questions like, are you aware of the time commitment, or are you aware there's a background check, is not really pertinent to what I think most people would want to know. I would want to know things like, well, what is your positions on public schools versus charter schools? I want to know, can you read a budget? Can you read an audit? Like some of the questions that were asked, I just don't think were they were at the level that would give the community any confidence that the people that you're picking or the vetting process would allow you to be able to select one person over another. And in addition to that, giving the people the questions for things that are so basic to begin with, to me, it doesn't really speak well of the board members. And it's also, it's kind of embarrassing. One day I want this district to be taken back by the community. And we can't do that unless we can demonstrate that we've got board members who are up to the task. And there was nothing in that line of questioning that I saw that would give anybody any indication or confidence that whoever was appointed or whoever currently sits on the board now is up to the task. And no matter what you tell me, you can't look at that and think, oh, I should trust that person with $340 million and the lives and education of all the kids in the school district. And that's pretty much my comment. Thank you.
Next person signed up for public comment is Liz Jackson.
Good evening, Ms. McCombs and the Board of Education.
Excuse me, can I just clarify? This is, it's only one person can comment at a time. So if Mr. Medley, if you're speaking,
Yes,
then I just want to announce that. Can we have your first name as well?
Carl Medley.
Carl, okay, thank you.
Yes. I'm a former employee of the Board of Education. I worked as a custodian. I did security. I finished my career as a teacher. I ended my tenure at Camden County College working with the at-risk high school kids in the city of Camden and Pennsauken. I want to bring to the attention Camden City Schools to reopen the Environmental Center in 2024. Is that slated for possibility of it happening? And if so, the New Jersey Department of Fish and Wildlife wants to partner with schools and the community and faith-based organizations that are willing to provide an ongoing and sustained engagement in the HOFNOT activities. HOFNOT is Hooked on Fishing, Not on Drugs. And it's a program that I would like to try to bring into the school district. The Environmental Center is perfect. It has classrooms, bathrooms. It has a pavilion. It has the lake. And the HOFNOT program would be excellent for the school district to engage, in particular, 5th graders and then the 9th grade classes. We can walk with the 5th graders as they go in through middle school, and then we can walk with the 9th graders as they continue through high school and teaching them environmental protection. Hooked on Fishing and Not on Drugs is a program that's flexible enough to be offered in different ways. And I see that Eastside High School is going to have a marine biology program. So all of these things coming together can make a big difference if HOFNOT was involved. Teaching the anatomy of fishing, it ties in physical education, it ties in science, it ties in environmental protection. It does all the things that can engage students, teach them how to fish, teach them the anatomy of fishing. There's a saying that says, you give a man a fish, you feed him for a day. You teach a man to fish, you feed him for a lifetime. I would just like to be able to work with the district, collaborate with the education of fishing and environmental protection. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Medley. Ms. Jackson, would you like to comment as well?
Very quickly, my name is Liz Jackson. I coordinate the Hooked on Fishing, Not on Drugs program for New Jersey Fish and Wildlife. The program, as of 2012, has an annual appropriation, and that annual appropriation is used to have the program function in all counties, when you read the legislation, in all 21 counties to the best of our ability. The program primarily functions in partnerships. So we reach out to people like school districts, 4-H, Boys and Girls Clubs, altruistic individuals like Carl, who are interested in bringing fishing education, conservation, and environmental science to a community using fish as that hook to get the kids engaged. In the past, I had done for Fish and Wildlife, I coordinated Project Wild and assisted with Project Wet and Project Learning Tree, which are time-tested. They've been in New Jersey forever. We did a lot of workshops at that Winslow site. I was very sad when I heard that it kind of closed down because it's absolutely a perfect place for environmental education to take place in the county of Camden. And so if you were open to a partnership between Fish and Wildlife, Carl, and the school district, we could put together a program that would knock your socks off, engage all of your students. I'm trying to help them steer and be very specific, and which is why we are proposing 5th grade and maybe entry-level 9th grade, 10th graders to come to this potential environmental education center. The younger kids, because they're young, they're still pliable, we can help them understand the value of our resources. The older kids in looking at, I think it's called like workforce development or career, kind of build an idea of you can be into environment and actually earn a living and get a paycheck and things like that, working with those high school students and having the potential of a marine biology program. Using that site, you could also have a freshwater fisheries program, you know, upland or wildlife program in partnership with that to help the students think about their tomorrow. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, Ms. Jackson. We have a couple of written comments this evening. Carla Villegas. Good evening, board members. My name is Carla Villegas. I'm the Outreach Organizing Manager at Parents Invincible. I'm here today to voice some ideas and concerns regarding the Read Out Loud program that the school district started on February 20th, 2024. First and foremost, good job to the person who even thought of starting a Read Out Loud program for students. I have attended a couple of meetings where Ms. Ebony has informed us of some details regarding the kickoff event. I signed up for the program, but one thing that I found a little bit discouraging was at the start of the program, there were multiple meetings where there was some bit of miscommunication with parents and community leaders, from waiting for email responses from the district to inform everyone which school they have provided them. In those meetings, I've also noticed that the only ones that have signed up to be a part of the Read Out Loud Mentor program are organizations. How is the district involving parents to be a part of the reading program? Are they giving flyers to students to take home to parents? Will each school that is participating have a parent involved? Since each school has a parent committee input, maybe the parent who represents the school should be involved. How is the district approaching parents' involvement? Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Villegas. Next comment is from Griselda Ruiz. Hello, board members. My name is Griselda Ruiz. I am the mother of 2 students that attend Brim Medical Arts High School. This is my children's first year at Brim School, and my son Jose, who is autistic, had some incident during the past few weeks. Jose got into a couple of fights with teachers and students. Jose didn't have one-on-one teacher at the time because he wasn't acting this way at the beginning of the school year. But I'm really happy that the school took this matter into consideration and took quick action by calling me and hosting a meeting with all the teachers and students that was attacked by my son for me to apologize to everyone he hit. The issue was resolved quickly. I just want to say thank you to Brim School for making sure all students understand Jose's condition and for providing him with a one-on-one teacher. Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Ruiz. Next comment is from Josie Ocasio. Good evening, Superintendent and board members. Tonight, I'm sharing some concerns about the bullying in some of our schools and in hopes to get better and more stern with schools and students to understand that this is not acceptable or to take lightly. I know this issue is everywhere, not just here. Some starts on social media, outside school, but mostly in our schools. Parents have removed their child or children from our schools to attend out of district due to bullying, but more because nothing was handled or resolved and their child was not safe. No parent should be removing their child from school due to bullying or now homeschooling them because safety was not an option. But good thing that they have a choice to where and how their child is educated. Parents Invisible is doing a survey, and some of the questions are, has your child experienced any harassment, intimidation, or bullying in your school? Do you know about the bullying policy, HIB policy? Do you know the contact person to reach at your school? This helps us navigate parents to the staff at the school or share the HIB policy, and we also help them find resources if a student is dealing with mental hardships due to bullying. We support parents and students during this time and also keep the school aware of occurring issues or new concerns. My question is, how can we be more effective when sharing about bullying? Are there any bullying preventions each month? Are there workshops about bullying? How are students and parents getting information about the HIB policy? We're losing students either leaving our schools to attend out-of-district schools, and sadly, some have taken their own lives from this ugly issue in our schools. How can we get this awareness out more and stay effective every day in schools? I know a few organizations that are willing to do workshops in schools, starting with the younger students about bullying prevention. If we work together, we can make better changes together. It takes a village. Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Ocasio. Next comment is from Gabrielle Gonzalez. Good evening, Superintendent and Camden School Board members. Today I want to bring to your attention the importance of all being on the same page when it comes to transportation and making sure that we have an interpreter when a child is displaced from their home due to XYZ reasons. I came across a family who was currently displaced, and due to a language barrier, mom did not understand the instructions such as time, location, or what the bus driver that was supposed to pick up the child needed the parent to do. I bring this up as I understand that we all continue to learn daily, and even myself. I am learning through this case as a way to continue to improve our district as a whole, as unfortunately, due to cases like this, we continue to learn and evolve. Hope that we continue to work together, and that together we continue to evolve and learn to better serve our community. If for some reason I missed a step, please bring it to my attention, as I know that we all wear different hats in our community. Thank you, Ms. Gonzalez. And the last written submission this evening is from Livette Jimenez. Good evening, Superintendent, Board, and members. My name is Livette, and my children attend Caddo School. I'm addressing a serious matter that occurred at the beginning of this month. My second grader was assaulted on 2 different occasions and was returned to me with bruises and marks on his face. My son never experienced anything like this before or never had issues with another student in school. I am upset about how this was handled and should have been taken much seriously. I feel I should have been contacted immediately, and all evidence of this assault should be reviewed at our parent meeting. However, my son is doing okay, and the school has warned the other student nothing has occurred since the incident. I just wish that it never happened. Students of all ages should be schooled on bullying each month, so they have choices that they can make at all times before the wrong choice when bullying another person. Seminars should be held monthly in schools with parents' attendance, as well to gain the importance of what bullying is and causes to another student. At this time, I have not received any follow-up from my meeting, and I hope this does not happen again to my son or any other student. My ask is bullying workshops should be mandatory and taught in every grade level, and the consequences of being a bully. Thank you for this time. Thank you, Ms. Jimenez. With that, that closes public comment for this evening, and I'll turn it back to you for any response.
Okay, thank you very much. And thank you to everyone who stayed and participated in our public comments portion. As I say every month, and I mean it sincerely, as we listen to the concerns that come, not only from our student board reps, but our families, our parents, we can hear and then develop solutions and strategies to move forward, all on behalf of the young people that we collectively serve. So I do want to make sure that it's not trite or anything that I say over and over. I want you to know how important your feedback and comments are. So I'll start really quickly. I'll go for the public comments portions. There were some very pertinent issues that were brought up during the public comment, as well as during the written comment, as well as the public comment in person portion. So I want to start with Ms. Gould. I don't know, Ms. Gould, if you're still in the room. Thank you, Ms. Gould. And thank you for sharing the information that you shared here with one of our staff members in the back. I want to also make sure that we have your current phone contact information so we can follow up accordingly. Thank you again for being here this evening, for sharing sharing your concerns and for sharing your daughter's unfortunate experiences. We will follow up with any ongoing investigations and formally activate a HIB investigation. Dr. Delali, who is one of our newest staff members who was brought on board to lead our guidance counselors among many other areas. She is our anti-bullying specialist and is here this evening, and you can speak with her tonight if you have not already done so. So Dr. Delali, if you don't mind raising your hand or standing up, if you've already talked, that's great, and then we can, thank you, and we can begin moving this investigation to the next phase. It is also my understanding that the police department just asked for the video footage this week, and because the incident transpired in October, it was automatically written over as video footage is typically stored for 3 to 6 months, depending on how much data is captured. However, that will not be an obstacle or a barrier. We will follow up right away with you because we're most concerned about your daughter and wanting to make sure that she feels safe. You moved over. I was looking, I said, wait, where did she go? Miss Gould, there you are. Very good, but we want to make sure that your daughter feels safe. So please know that we're working on this, and thank you for having the courage to speak your truth to power tonight on behalf of your daughter, and we will follow up accordingly, even in those areas that have not been initiated this evening. Mr. Waters, thank you for your comments. Mr. Waters, are you still here? Thank you, Mr. Waters, for your comments, for your passion. We know that you love our young people. Please, if you haven't already done so, see our Food Services Director, Ms. Arlethea Brown, at the information booth outside the auditorium. She wanted to express that food is available for all students based on the guidelines provided by the USDA. Our school meals team is working with the Eastside High School team and students to support students and the community with any food insecurities. So we've implemented additional access to meals at Eastside High, and we will continue to work with leaders to ensure resources are made available and also to make sure students experience that. So again, as I shared earlier, we want to make sure we're eliminating any disconnects where with good intentions, we're working and doing everything we can, but then there may be students who don't experience it as such. And so I am confident, excuse me, that Ms. Brown and her team will continue to make sure that we follow through on those areas, and we will stay in touch to monitor closely to make sure that a change occurs. Mr. Diego, who I think had to leave, thank you again for your partnership and support as we continue to break down barriers, language barriers that could get in the way of our families, our parents being able to understand what's happening in our board meetings and to know what the school district is working on. So thank you. Mr. Roman, Mr. Salo Roman, there you are. Thank you for expressing your concerns. We are not permitted, to discuss personnel matters publicly, but please do ensure you submit your concerns in writing to Ms. Teresa Reese, our Chief Talent Officer, so that the district can take the appropriate next steps. If you need to connect with her, she is here as well, but we don't want you to think that your what you shared had just fallen on deaf ears because we were not able to respond in the moment. So please, if you would follow through and follow up on that, because we want to make sure that there is a remedy and that there's a path forward with a solution. Mr. Frazier, I'm not sure if Mr. Frazier is still, yes, he is. Thank you, Mr. Frazier. It was great seeing you at our Black History Month celebration as well. We thank you for raising the issue of your concerns with regard to students at Uncommon Copewood. We care about all young people, and so when it comes to crossing guards, we can elevate your concerns to those individuals and the mayor's office who handle crossing guards. So I know Ms. Perry will be able to work with us to make sure the information gets where it needs to be. We also want to make sure that we are monitoring closely whether or not there are any changes there. So we ask you to stay in touch so that we will definitely be able to make sure that there is safety for all of our students. Mr. Spencer, I'm not sure, Mr. Theo Spencer, if you're still here. Thank you. He had to leave, but I want to make sure it goes on the record. When we were sharing the slide with regard to audit findings, I'm not sure if I misspoke or not. I was just providing the historical context based on where we were at the beginning of state intervention, not to say that it was because we are under state operation that our audit findings have improved. However, to just state the facts that our audit findings have improved and that it is our sole desire to continue to put students first by ensuring that they have a healthy financial and fiscal environment. So again, no offense was meant to any previous boards of education and the work that's been done. Mr. Medley has left already, but I know that we got his contact information and we'll explore anything that we can do in that area when it comes to the environmental center. Ms. Villegas, thank you for sharing your concerns and excitement about REAL. We will have someone to reach out to you, Ms. Ebony Henson, to ensure that you are able to find and fill out the application and also RSVP any other parents who are interested in being a part of that program. Ms. Ruiz, thank you for your concerns as well. We appreciate your transparency and recommendations regarding BRIM's resolution with your son, Jose. Our senior lead educator, Dr. Deborah Goodman, was the lead with this incident to ensure that all appropriate measures were in place for your son to support him as he rises in his academic journey. So please let our team know, Ms. Landy and the Office of Special Services, if there's any further support that can be provided to help your son grow into his greatness. Ms. Ocasio, thank you for your concerns that you raised regarding ensuring safe school environments for all students. That is important to each and every one of us, as I just shared with regard to Mr. Frazier's statement. We are dedicated to upholding our harassment, intimidation, and bullying policies and procedures, and you can easily access that information directly right on our website. The district's aims to ensure ongoing effectiveness, integration of bullying prevention education into the curriculum, and we regularly reinforce these teachings through workshops, assemblies, and other educational initiatives. So additionally, involving our parents, teachers, administrators, and the wider community in these efforts is crucial. It truly does take a village. So please reach out through that avenue that was shared so that we can ensure that your concerns are addressed. Ms. Gonzalez, thank you for your comment regarding transportation. The Transportation Department has 2 Spanish-speaking employees, Ms. Camacho and Ms. Alvarez, who are available as we frequently contact families that are more comfortable communicating in Spanish. If you can please forward the family's contact information to transportation at camden.k12.nj.us or call 856-966-2000, extension 38880. We can review your students' transportation information and answer any questions that you may have. So we have individuals on the ready to support with translation as well. Ms. Jimenez, thank you for bringing this matter to our attention. As a district, we are sorry this happened to your son. The safety and well-being of our students are of paramount importance to us. We are already in touch with Principal Dixon upon receiving your letter, and our district's anti-bullying coordinator will be reaching out to you to address these concerns. We also will follow up with Cato's anti-bullying specialist, along with other relevant staff members, to delve deeper into the matter and ensure the timeline is met, including the portion to communicate to the findings to families. So again, we have a lot of recurring themes that came up around bullying, and want you to know that we're taking all of those seriously, even though we are looking at reductions in many areas or not many unfounded cases. We don't want to take any situation lightly, and we want to do a better job with making sure that each and every one of our students feel safe. And with that, I'll turn it over to our vice president to see if there are any concerns, comments from the board that would like to be shared at this time.
At this time, any board members have anything? All right. So, Mr. Board Member Hudson.
Thank you, Acting President Nelson. I appreciate it. You know, Camden is the top food desert in the state, and you know that what the gentleman said about East Side, the students missing meals or not being able to get meals. You know, that was a little concerning to me. But I thank Ms. Brown for working with the East Side and, you know, making sure that, you know, the students are, you know, getting their meals. I mean, because sometimes for a number of students, school's the only place where they can get, you know, a meal all day. You know, they don't have access to it when they get home, and we don't have a grocery store, access to a grocery store. So, you know, that's really important that we stay on top of and continue to addressing it. And I'm so glad and happy to see Wholesome Riches involved so heavily in the community, and that so many of our students are taking part in that. You know, that really made me happy, as well as all the other developments going on at Eastside with the new programs, you know, giving our students access to new hobbies, exposure, you know, career, you know, potential career interests that you would traditionally have to go outside the city to look for. But now, you know, we have that here in district. They don't have to go elsewhere for it. And I like that motto. I think I seen on the flyer, you know, the future being here in the school district. I think that's really a motto that we should continue to push. Also, yeah, in regards to, I mean, the gentleman was here speaking about the, you know, the special meeting that we had the other day. And, you know, I don't know if council or anybody can give clarity on that process, you know, as to, you know, it was in coordination with the state. And it's in a format that other districts have used as well. You know, we're interviewing board members, potential board member prospects. And I'm just appreciative that, you know, we were able to find two together collectively, able to, you know, go through the process, have the community involved. The public was able to, you know, speak on how they felt about it, and we, you know, we picked the best people for the position. So, you know, I appreciate his commentary, but, you know, I just wish there was some clarification on that. But thank you.
Thank you, Board Member Hudson. Anyone else? So a couple quick things, echoing Board Member Cameron, and also the superintendent's report. Thank you for sharing. Just want to take a minute, and I think we all should just give the district a round of applause for the achievements. We deserve recognition for that. So if we could just give the district a round of applause. You know, not taking away from anything that's not right, but there's a lot of positive things going on in our school district right now. It doesn't mean that we don't have areas that we need to work on. But if you've seen the presentation, if you've been available for any of the events, you know, I was able to be a part of the Black History event. I was able to be in the school when we, you know, it was tours yesterday for the 8th graders. Just a lot of positive things that's taking place. And, you know, we have to make sure we recognize all those things. A lot of hard-working staff members that's working hard to help maintain and improve our district. So on behalf of the board, I want to just say thank you. Thank you for all that you do. I want to also say thank you to the community for your input and your concerns. Your opinions and voices are what's needed. I would like to also stress, as board members, we are human who appreciate respect as well. Have conversations with us instead of talking about us or around us. Unless it's a collective effort, it will never truly feel like a true representation of the people. If we are putting students first, we will create examples that we want them to follow. And I think that's important. I would also like to say thank you to the board members for all that you do, your commitment, your service, your dedication. I want to publicly apologize to Board Member Alvarez, who received derogatory comments in her absence at last board meeting, which she gave prior notice of her absence. We follow our protocol and our procedure. It may not always be known as an excused absence, but all board members make sure they notify and follow proper protocol when they're not here or they're not present. So I just want to make that known publicly in case anyone was not aware. Yesterday, I spoke earlier about visiting Camden High, and I want to say thank you to Dr. Thompson, who took the lead on that. First, thank you to Superintendent for following up, Dr. Thompson, who took the lead, Principal Thompson, and his staff for all that they're doing over at Camden High. It was an excellent visit. I seen a lot of teamwork. I seen a lot of collaboration, a lot of positive things, students learning, students being engaged. And, I just think it's a positive thing just to see things moving in the right direction. I also want to just recognize Mr. Warren, who I reached out to probably a week ago, who made sure that his staff jumped on the issue at hand right away. So thank you for jumping on things, immediately and taking care of things that are concerns and making sure we're putting our students first. And then also Mr. Waters as well, again, who goes above and beyond, from my knowledge, for our students, and just making sure programs are in place and things are being implemented. Again, there's many other people, everybody works hard, but just want to take a minute to acknowledge those people, so thank you. And at this time, I turn it back over to you, Superintendent.
Thank you, AP Nelson. At this time, I would like to take this opportunity to turn over this portion to our board secretary.
Thank you. At this time, I want to present the business office agenda items, including the bill list and the resolutions for approval. And I'm asking the board members if they have any questions on the business office agenda items.
Any questions? No, thank you.
I'll turn it back to the superintendent then.
Thank you so much. At this time, if there are no questions on any of the business office items, I'd like to take this opportunity in accordance with the powers vested in the State District Superintendent under Title 18A. I hereby approve today's superintendent's agenda items and business office agenda items. I turn it back over to the board secretary to adjourn.
I'm calling for a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Motion.
Okay. All in favor? Aye. Okay, meeting adjourned at the time, 8:13.